My name is Donna Parsons, and I wanted to tell you a minor portion of my story. The highlight starts when the phone rang, and we saw that it was the doctor calling. He said, "Donna, I have to tell you, your son has leukemia." And I just went, "Oh my gosh," and screamed. And Trevor was going to VBS, and on his way home, he just said in the car, "I want to go to heaven, Mom." And it was a real thing. That's what he said. It was a real thing, and you knew it wasn't ordinary. One morning, he was doing fine, and I went down to wake him up, and I looked at his face, and I saw it was just as pale could be all of a sudden. And I couldn't really stomach it because it was frightening. And I said, "I've got to go. I've got to go for a walk, and I'll be back." And so as I was walking, I said, "God, what are you doing? Is that really going to happen?" And he said, "Yes, I am going to take him home. I know you want to hold him by his hand until I take him home. So I'm going to make that happen. And he will be able to come home to me. And I will, as you're holding one hand, I will take the other and bring him home." I have to read a passage that is important to me when God was explaining to me how he was going to do this. "You made all the delicate inner parts of my body, and you knit them together in my mother's womb. Thank you for making me so wonderfully complex. Your workmanship is marvelous. How well I know it. You watched me as I was being formed in utter seclusion, as I was woven together in the dark of the womb. You saw me before I was born. Every day of my life was recorded in your book. Before a single day passed, how precious are your thoughts of me, O God. They cannot be numbered." This is so important because God knows us, and we know when we trust him that he is real. He is so real. And the time came that we needed to say goodbye, and God prepared that. He prepared it beautifully. And when we think of who God is, we can actually trust that he does what he says. He won't be shaken. God won't be shaken. He knows what we need, and he never will make a mistake. That's the most important thing to remember, that God does not make a mistake. And he was wonderful. He was loving. My son wanted to be there. He only stayed here because he knew how much it would hurt me. But he wanted to be with them. It's time for God to finish his instruction and to love him and to grow him up where he is. Trevor desired God, and God, more importantly, desired him. And that was so important when you have to let your child go, to know that all happens and that God's got it fully under control. He was such a witness without even trying to be a witness for Jesus. It's just neat to know that God was part of Trevor so much that these kids and adults, we had adults tell us too, came to Christ. And it's worth everything. They're all in eternity. And it's pretty exciting to see that. And those are the things I have to remember.